Hi guys, and welcome back to Sing in Canada. And today it's a bright sunny day. काफ़ी टाइम हो गया धुप्प इन्नी वधिया धुप्प खिड़े नूं ते अज आपां चले हां जी लीप ट्रिप वास्ते. We are going for a leap trip that is gold planing in Tranquille. ते कहंदे ने kamloops च gold labda. We can find gold here, so let's see. की पता beginner's luck. तो बस अभी जा रहे हैं TRU लूप की तरफ, द बस स्टैंड जहाँ पे हमेशा से बस रहती है फॉर ऑल द लीप ट्रिप्स. विल किक स्टार्ट अवर जर्नी फ्रॉम दैट स्टेशन. तो अभी तो आई एम जस्ट वॉकिंग, थोड़े टाइम में पहुँच जाएंगे. एंड साथ साथ जो भी होगा you can see in this video. बाकी जिन लोग ने अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया आप कर सकते हैं. There are many more videos as well.
Called Tranquille Sanatorium, and some of the locals still call it Padova City. Alright, so maybe you've heard about this place. Some of you are nodding your heads. So this place started in the 1920s as a tuberculosis sanatorium. So meaning that they believed that the cure for tuberculosis was sunshine and fresh air. So they moved a whole bunch of TB patients up here, and also after the First World War, they moved a lot of the soldiers that were injured up here. And so this was kind of a hospital space. After that, after they found better treatments for TB and the wars died out, this place was fairly empty, so they decided to turn it into a mental health hospital. Now, today we call it a mental health and wellness hospital. Back then they just called it, what, the sanitarium? Yeah, sanitarium. So is people with mental illnesses were kept out here. Now, the interesting thing about this place is it is a totally self-contained village. So they have their own electricity plant, their own farm, their own waterways and everything, and they actually take water right from the creek that we're going to be gold panning in. Alright, they raise their own animals, they raise their own food, and it was totally a self-contained unit. That place got shut down in the 1970s, I believe. Late 70s it got shut down and it was left to rot. There's a lot of really cool old buildings in there, and all the buildings are connected by tunnels. So they used to use tunnels to transport laundry and food, and possibly like there's some like a little mini mortuary down there, so if people were to die, they transport them through the tunnels. This place was bought a few years ago by some people that are fixing it up and turning it into an actual farm again. Every once in a while in the fall, usually around Halloween, they will put on plays and performances and take you down into the tunnels for a tunnel tour. I went in with a group of students once and I got so scared I climbed up a student. I'm not even kidding, I climbed a student. I was probably more scared than anybody else there, but yes. So really, really interesting place when it comes to Kamloops history.
So that's the haunted village or town that we were talking about. The chapters of history that you just explored in the video. And now we are heading for the track. I have with me the beautiful Komal Bawa.
Before we get started with the program for today, I wanted to introduce you to the other leaders who are going to be helping out today with explaining things and teaching the gold panning and so on. So this is Liliana,
Liliana.
Where's
It's the hat. It's the
have
hat.
white shirts. Come on, you're great. Yeah. And she's going to be giving you a short presentation about bats and the importance of bats in our local area here.
देखो जी सारे जाने डोंकी लगा रहे हैं मैक्सिको वास्ते सीधा ये तो बात डायरेक्ट सीधा यूएस बॉर्डर्स विल क्लाइम द वॉल बस 300-400 किलोमीटर दूर रह गया यूएस वो तो बाद सीधा अमेरिकन सिटीजनशिप 10 साल बाद
Eventually you'll get down the gold house right at the bottom, but it can be very small. One of the things that you might notice when you get down to the bottom, the heaviest sand is black, and the gold is kind of a bright yellow. So it will stand out against the black sand at the bottom of the pan. Get down that way. But everybody can grab a pan. We have plastic ones as well as metal ones, and I think you'll have a choice whichever you want.
Which one's better?
I grew up using the metal pans, but there's more pans here that I think your group bought to us as well. Small shovels.
Do we need this?
I suppose we could in a way if people want to shovel their own,
Yeah.
So if somebody could bring this down.
I can bring it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
And I've got another shovel here as well. So, like I say, you can take turns grabbing a pan, and then we'll go down to the river and see what we can find.
So we got a whistle and we are just heading for the gold pan. Hopefully paisa hi paisa hoga. So let's see if we can find any of the gold hidden in here. Our club members recently told us a lot of people even drown in this river and they die. So that's such a bummer, but we have to be careful. Yeah.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put some sand and gravel into the pan. Now, you could get it out at the edge of the water or even on the bank above the water. And then we'll use water to wash out a lot of the gravel. But I'll show you how it's done. So I'm going to take the shovel full here. Find something now. How about right here? Okay, so put it in the pan. And now you need water, right? So I have to put water in here, and then we'll start washing the gold out. So one of the things you'll know is you'll never find a piece of gold this big. So you can throw out all the big rocks to start with.
Otherwise we would be rich, right?
What's that?
Otherwise we would be rich.
We'd all be rich, you're right. So I'll take some of that out, and then we'll just gradually, as you sit back and forth, the gold goes to the bottom. So I can take a lot of this wood and stuff out here too, and we'll keep sifting until we get down lower. So keep sifting, and you'll run a lot of the lighter stuff over the top until we get down lower.
People from California and all over the United States and Eastern Canada and all from BC, by the hundreds and thousands, they came and did just what you did, gold panning. And they also brought big machinery, huge gold pans, and they disturbed all the land around here. And you know, it still hasn't returned to what it looked like before 1859. And it did the gold rush called the Caribou Gold Rush. Started here and then went further north when they didn't seem to find a lot of gold here, although some people did. And it's, you know, it didn't last all that long. It was 1859, so how long ago was that? That's about 150 years ago, right? A little bit more?
Yep.
A little bit
Yeah,
more?
close
Yeah.
to.
So there we are. And we'll stop at a beaver pond a little further on. I don't think we'll see a beaver, but so that tree was chewed by a beaver. And if you'll notice that some of the trees around here have wire mesh around the bottom. We call it chicken wire because people use it to keep their chickens in their coops. And so many people are trying to prevent all of these big trees from being taken down by beavers because they're incredibly valuable. When they die, they have holes in them. They provide roosting sites. See that tree right there? See the holes in that tree?
Yeah.
Birds are gonna, and squirrels and bats are gonna roost and nest in those holes. And during the day, sometimes when we come along here, we see big owls just, you know, roosting during the day to, you know, be in the shade and be cool. So these trees are cottonwoods. Yeah, but you can see the beaver teeth marks in this one here. Ordinarily, he'd chew it up and take it to build his house, which we'll see in a minute. We'll see a little further. Skull of a beaver. Here's the upper skull, and so those are the teeth. This, unfortunately, these are broken. This one is broken, but these are the teeth which have chewed that tree down and have chewed this down. And unfortunately, the teeth are glued in this skeleton. I should have brought the one from TRU because this tooth, these teeth, they keep growing because of course he wears them down, right? He wears them right down. So they keep growing all their life. And this tooth, if I could pull it out, it would go all the way up into the skull like that.
Wow.
And they keep growing down and down. So he can do this, or she can. So the beaver makes little lakes for ducks. Ducks like it. Oh. Beavers are good. They make and it makes this nice habitat. These cattails here, the things with the fuzzy things on the end, those are called cattails, and that's nice habitat for lots of species of birds. So beavers do good things. You know, the duck would be unhappy if he didn't have a lake. Anyway, there used to be a beaver here who made a dam, which we might be able to see from the path right along here. There was a stream here. And the beaver made a dam and made this little lake, and he also built himself 2 homes. So there's the piles of sticks along the side of the lake there. Those are beaver houses, but they're not very tidy. So we think the beaver here has moved on, and he sells them. And for some reason, he came out and he did them in living trees, and he got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that, but we can
Because
appreciate
this is a protected area. You are welcome. Liliana is, so you guys probably know that she's from Mexico, and she works for the Naturalist Club on bats. She's our area bat coordinator. So she's going to tell you all something about bats. And I'm being...
Okay, well, bats. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown. Bats are not rodents. They're from the order Chiroptera. It's the second most diverse order within the mammals. Bats are the only mammal that can fly. All other mammals that can do anything familiar is like gliding. That makes them pretty unique. They're very, very diverse. We have the bats that we have here, which are usually not much bigger than your palm, to bats that you can find in like Asia, where they are 2-meter wingspan and stuff like that. Yeah, so very, very diverse. Canada, crazy enough, does have quite a bit of bats. I wouldn't think so. They're so small, but they're very furry. BC especially, like all of Canada, we have around 19 species of bats. And BC has, of the 19, it has 14. Our region, the Thompson region, which is where we are, has 12 of those 14 bats. So we're very lucky. We have lots of bats.
So that's a wrap for today's video. You can see haunted house out there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.